Hello everyone and welcome to Resident Evil 3 review. Stars! So basically this game is, survival horror. I don't know how else to explain it, but to me it was probably the best one that I ever played, and that's, my personal opinion. So off the bat, yes, I fucking love the shit out of this game. Oddly enough though, of the first three for the PlayStation, I actually played this one the least. And I actually forgot the reason behind that. I think I got more wrapped up in Resident Evil 2 for one reason or another. Before this one, obviously Resident Evil 2 was my most favorite between the first and the second one. Basically, as the series got made, I always preferred the next sequential one, bar when Resident Evil Code Veronica came out. Now, granted, I liked Code Veronica. It was a fun game. But I liked Resident Evil 3 more just because I felt like it had the perfect blend for what it should have been. Plus, you have the iconic Nemesis as the main bad guy, and this dude is just wow. You want to talk about a persistent motherfucker that just will not stop until you are dead. This guy, he gave me nightmares. Every time you go in a room, you're just dreading, you're just wondering if this freaking hulking brute's gonna show up, do his little shouting, and then chase your ass, until you can figure out a way to either kill him or knock him out, rather, or run, knock him out, whatever. Just do anything you can to get away from this guy because he will not stop until either he's dead or you're dead. So it's a fight to the death with this guy. This one also stars Jill as the solo character, which, it's a deviation from the traditional, there's two characters you play as, that the first two games had. This one actually is probably, I would say in general, it's actually about as long, if not longer, than the first two. If you put Jill's and Chris's scenarios together, from the first game, or Leon and Claire's, both A and B scenarios, that's about how long in length this game was. And plus, you had extras. You had the Mercenaries mode, which was fun. And in my Let's Play, I actually had said that I was going to do it, but I never got to doing it. So it's up in the air when I'm going to do that. But if I'm being honest, the few practice rounds I did of it, I did terrible. So I just kind of said, screw it, I'll get back to this later. But this game also has a couple of characters that return from previous games, such as Brad Vickers, who, by the way, does not really last very long, but that's okay. He wasn't really an important character to begin with. And then you also have the cameo of Barry Burton, provided you do certain things in the game that allow you to get that ending, and that has to do with the choice system that you get. There's also another character that plays a major role. Actually, there's about three characters that play a major role. There's Mikhail, who's just kind of a side character that helps you out here and there. Nikolai, who serves as kind of like the human antagonist to a degree. And then you have, what's his name? Carlos, who I honestly don't really consider him all that memorable. He had a few haha moments, but otherwise, I couldn't really give two shits less for him. But his character in the game was fine. I mean, he was a likable enough guy. He didn't do anything to piss me off or annoy me like, certain other ones, Sheva, but, actually even better, Ashley. Oh, God, I don't think there's ever been a Resident Evil character as annoying and just, never has a character wanted to make me just grab a gun and shoot my own brain out than her, or rip my own ears off at the very least. So, not really a whole lot to go in depth with this game. I mean, everybody pretty much liked it. If you liked Resident Evil at the time, you loved this game. If you like survival horror, you liked this game. Pretty generally, that was the consensus of it. So, there's not a whole lot to go in depth with as opposed to the other three. And you'll notice that those are the games that changed the whole way the franchise works, and that's why those videos were longer. There was more to explain to them, and that's because I had a more intricate opinion towards these. Now, this one does do a few things differently than the original, or than the first two Resident Evils, is that you have the gunpowder system, which, oddly enough, this is the only game to actually use it, but this one also introduced the dodge system, where Jill, if she got lucky, and by her getting lucky, that's you getting lucky and timing it right, which, trust me, there's like a 1 in 6 chance of you actually timing it right, depending on how skilled you get with it. If you get really good at it, like I was at one point, then you'll be able to do it at least every 2 out of 3 attacks that the enemies go at you. With Nemesis, it's a different story. It's really a trick to dodging him, because you could dodge him and he can charge at you, and you could try dodging again, but it just doesn't work to your benefit. In fact, it still gets you caught. So the fights with Nemesis can get tedious and rough. If you play it in hard, they really become tedious and rough. But that's not to downplay it. It's supposed to be challenging. It's the hard difficulty after all. But the way the gunpowders work is you can combine them and form different kinds of ammo. Depending on what you combine is what you get. You could get magnum rounds, grenade rounds, handgun bullets, shells, and you can get the awesome freeze rounds, which, by the way, if you're aiming to fight Nemesis on hard, I'd recommend getting those as soon as you can. I don't remember the exact combination, but if you've watched my Let's Play, or if you've played Resident Evil 3 before and you've seen Necroscope or anything like that, then you know what to do. Honestly, you can actually find this game online for fairly cheap. I think it's going for like less than $20. So if you haven't played it before, or you want to play it again, it's like, oh, I see Luca's review of it. It kind of makes me want to play it again. I mean, I don't honestly feel like I'm encouraging anyone to play it, but this is just me giving my personal thoughts about the whole Resident Evil franchise. Yeah, like I said, on Amazon, eBay, you can find it for like $20. Although I'd say choose Amazon over eBay, because on eBay you could end up paying like up to $100 for it, which why would you do that? Games are expensive enough as it is, and there's no point in paying $100 for a PlayStation 1 game that's, X amount of years old. I think it's going on like 13 now. Ugh. It's been that long? Oh, crap, I'm getting old. We're all getting old. Can you believe it? So, Resident Evil 3, have any of you played it? Did you guys like it? Did you guys like my Let's Play? Have you seen other Let's Plays of it? Did I do better? Did I do worse than them? I'm making this sound more about me and less about the game. But, hey, spotlight, pull up Batista. Give me my spotlight. So, yeah, this has pretty much been my whole review of Resident Evil 3. Although there is one last thing I would like to ask all of you, and this mostly goes for you that have played Resident Evil 6. And that is, if Nemesis and Ustanak got in a fight, who do you think would win? My money is honestly on Ustanak, because that army has so much flexibility. I mean, it has a Gatling gun, a grenade launcher, a claw, a freaking flail. And, Nemesis, yeah, he has the rocket launcher and the tentacle, but this guy, for every weapon Nemesis has, this guy has like 3 to match it. So my personal thoughts would be with Ustanak, although I still say Nemesis gave a more intimidating presence. Whereas, Nemesis plays like kind of mind games. He's still this big, dominating, beefed up guy, and he does kind of psychologically start affecting Jill and Carlos. Whereas Ustanak's just that big, enormous monster that you have to overcome. It's more like a Frankenstein versus Dracula kind of deal, where Nemesis is kind of the Dracula, Ustanak's the Frankenstein. So, your thoughts and opinions on that. Who would win, Ustanak or Nemesis? So, this has been Resident Evil 3. I will see you all soon for Resident Evil 2.